Well met, everyone. I am Rich the Lich. Some of you may know that professionally, when I'm not making these videos or doing the D&D thing, I am a strength and conditioning coach, a CrossFit coach, whatever. So I'm in the world of fitness, right? And I came up with a kind of a weird or just such a random idea. And I thought there's some value in that in the D&D space. This video, is not powered by coffee, powered by water. So anyway, I was training some clients this morning and it's super hot, right? And I'm sweating my ass off. I'm just a hot mess right now of just sweat. And I kind of thought, I don't know what I was doing. I was in the kitchen or something and I'm thinking, man, I'm sweating. I should shower. Wait a minute. How does sweat translate into video topics? Some D&D stuff, right? It's just how my mind works. And it got me thinking, and that's the topic of today's video. What are the moments in your game as a dungeon master that you include that make your players sweat? And if you don't have any, or you don't have enough of them, here's a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just 6 things randomly, right? There's no significance to the number 6 in this particular case. Here are 6 things that you might be able to add and interject into your game that could make your players sweat. Okay? So here's the first one. Corpse explosions, right? You have your PCs. Hold on, let me back up. I got some good feedback on my delivery of dungeon masteriness. As you meander through the Valley of Gold, why is it called such a thing? The golden rays of sun trickle down and push their way through a curtain of gray. A mist, a fog. And as the golden sunlight hits the ground, it illuminates like flagstones. Almost like pieces of a puzzle that light up, indicating some sort of a path, indicating just that, a puzzle. As you step on each, you notice that the valley opens up. You hear the creaking as the mountain range itself seems to spread and give way, allowing you to move forward. But as you do, you are ambushed. Coming out from all sides in hidey holes, murder holes, sniper positions, popping up over creaking wooden barriers are goblins. 39 of them. They shoot range combat, throw javelins, swing a sling, yeah! And eventually they charge down the hill and they get into combat with you. You're in melee combat and you kill one and something inside of it. Not just blood, not just ichor. We're not talking chunky salsa. No, what we're talking about is a cloud kill. Some gas leaves its body as it dies. He's dead. Everyone within 15 feet, go ahead and roll me a dex save, please. You failed. Cool. 6d6 necrotic damage. And you have the poison condition. Creates a bit of tension, right? Get your players pulling back, thinking, hold on. These things are easy to kill. They have 1d10 hit points. That's it. But, dude, our bard, our sorcerer, they're frail. They don't have a high constitution. Not a lot of hit points. Please don't kill it when I'm standing there. Give me... Okay, so what do? I don't know. Do we ready action so that upon you leaving, that's when I take my final blow? You're making your PCs sweat a little bit. No longer is it just pure victory when they kill a creature. Now there's something they have to worry about. Yes, there are monsters in independent monster books, Tome of Beast, Creature Codex, things on DM's Guild, and perhaps even in the Monster Manual of Rollo's Guide itself, Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, that already have some corpse explosion mechanic. Now, tread lightly. Don't use this for every monster, as is the case with all of these things. You don't need to do this all of the time. But if you're not including something like a corpse explosion, consider it. Make your goblins combustible. And not combustible. You get it. Next one. What else can make your players sweat? Invasion. What you do is you lean into moments when your players are at a lull, when they're comfortable, when they've all sat back, grabbed a piece of pizza and a pretzel, and your cleric is over there in real life, over by your fridge, grabbing a Monster or a Mountain Dew. And then suddenly, you approach the king's chambers. The royal guard is on edge. They seem to know something you don't. And then, suddenly, the wall, the only wall that separates the king's district from the common district, is just shattered. And pouring through are the forces of the Gruul clans. Is it Borborygmos himself? Some giant, hulking, 22-foot tall cyclops. An eye the size of a beholder's just peeks through the hole as his deltoids smash against the last bits of stone that remain and cracks through. And behind him are legions of hill giants, ettins, ogres. Will you defend the king or will you only defend yourselves? An invasion is happening. You were going to parlay. You were going to get your kingly rewards. You were going to discuss the political machinations that are going on. But instead, roll initiative. They're all coming through. You create a bit of sweat, a bit of higher heart rate, blood pumping, blood pulsating intensity. What's the third one? You can create a bit of sweat among the brow of your players and your PCs when your PCs have angered the wrong people. No, we're not talking about just pissing off a local gang of thugs and bandits. We're talking about angering the mafia element in your world, in your region. High-level guilds, assassins guilds that are known to always get their target. You've angered the wrong people for whatever reason. And perhaps even better, your PCs have angered the wrong people, but there's some miscommunication. The Assassins Guild, the mafia component in your realm, they've got the wrong group. It's not the PCs that are done it. So this is false. This is not accurate. The PCs need to clear their name. But in the meantime, you've created adventure. You've created a story arc. The PCs now will want to go down this road because everything they do, everywhere they go, every long rest, that's not in a obviously safe place. Every time they put their head onto their bedroll and lay down out there in the wilds, they're always going to be looking over their back because Artemis Entry, those assassins are coming. Everything they interact with, every person, all of the items in the player's handbook they buy from the equipment store are sold to them at 300% price increase because they've angered the wrong merchant guild. But you're creating, again, higher heart rate, intensity, tension, especially when they're in that region where this faction, this guild is known to operate. You're creating a little bit of sweat. All right? 1, 2, 3. One moment. Item loss. That's another moment of sweat. This one you definitely have to be careful with because taking away the things you've given to your PCs really, really sucks. So be careful with it for certain. But your first encounter with a rust monster, right? Look back at the old world stuff. I feel like the monsters of first, second, third, 3.5, maybe even fourth, were much more punishing at the things that they were really good at, right? Like undead constructs back in 3.0, 3.5. The things that made them undead, that they were given from having that template, made them significantly different, right? Piercing damage didn't do as much. They were immune to critical hits, things like this, right? They've removed a lot of that and kind of, I don't know if the word is homogenized, a lot of the monsters in 5e. But look back at some of those old world rust monsters, right? The things that were, you stab it, you deal damage, make this saving throw on your weapon. If it's not magical, it's just gone. But item loss, the potential, as far-reaching as it is, even if it's not plausible or it's not really going to happen, but you just sort of threaten with it, that definitely is create some sweat on the brow because your PCs don't want to lose their babies. They become very attached to their things. So any moment where you might make it through this encounter and get past this trap, but your things, not only do you need to roll a saving throw for you, what about saving throws for everything on your person? You also start creating these little mini gameplay mechanics, which may not be worthwhile at your table, of, hey, where exactly are you holding the sword, the shield, the backpack, your bag of holding, the pouch that has that key item in it? Where's the scroll? How far away are things tucked in? Do you have the right armor with the right pockets? Because I need you to make a roll on the saving throw for all of your items. You didn't fall off the bridge into the chasm, but 3 of your 10 things did. So let's roll randomly on a D10 3 times and see which of those 10 things fell out. If it's the key map you need, if it's the key to a door that must be unlocked to move forward, and if it's a dragon shard, the most valuable thing they have, you get it. Item loss can certainly create some tension. Number 5, a higher power, such as a patron, your warlock patron. How often do we gloss over that patron? Yes, we know he's there in the background, and that is the catalyst, the reason why your warlock has those ridiculous ass powers. But how often do we interject that and throw that into the game? But a higher power, a patron or a deity perhaps, comes to claim what it's owed. See, now your PCs they have no leverage. These higher powers, they are omniscient. They see all things. They know all things. They have divination magic circling around them at all times. They're immune to mind control effects, to reading their minds, whatever it may be. But when you get, and your wizard floats in the middle of a long rest and looks like he's under some sort of feeble mind and imprisonment at the same time, and then Warhammer 40k dropship style, a Deva. But yet there's a combination of Deva and Planetar. So this thing is floating in a bubble of Photoshop effects. Galadriel, I would be a queen. Right? Looks like someone just flipped a negative on this person and lowered the opacity. And there's this God-level being, and he's saying, you have been wrong. This is a lawful good guy, by the way. He comes to claim what he's owed. And even if you don't just directly punish that PC, but you just poke at it one time and in a sucking sucks the shrubbery, the flora, the fauna. You even hear as some animal beast gets sucked into this vaporous, void-like portal, and your god disappears. But the reminder is there. That PC is going to be like, dude, what did I do wrong? Did I say something wrong? Did I defile a temple? I'm on a holy mission now. I need to repent. And that's another good way to create some sweat. And then finally, have your PCs encounter, even at a distance, or preferably at a distance, where combat is not going to occur. A super high CR monster. I'm talking about your group is level 7. Cool. They meet a level 28 Lich. Your group is level 1. 3 Frost Giants come around the bend. Now, this only holds value if you are known as the DM, as is the case with me. I give my players a way out. I'm not talking about this is a deadly encounter. No, this is you're a dumbass if you engage this. But the threat needs to be real. I will give you 9 ways out. Just, you see it around the corner. You see it before it sees you. What do you want to do? If your answer as the scout or the rogue is anything other than, I turn around quietly, make a stealth check, and get out of there. If your answer is anything other than that, I'm going to ruin you. I will say roll initiative with a Tarask when you are level 1. I will. And I think what that does, though, and I've made videos on this, whether it's the CR video and how wonky it is, or just allow the world to level up as well. When your PCs are the machinations and the wheels of power and intrigue and investigation and whatever they're doing are turning, everyone else in the world is as well. The orc commander at some point is going to become Orc Chief, and he's going to increase in 5 CR. There are horrible, horrible things in the world that will suck you, eat you, and kill you immediately. We don't even need to role play it out. I don't need to put any terrain on the table. We don't even need to roll initiative. I will just say, each of you roll D100. The 3 lowest, you die during the battle that never occurred because he just killed you. So when you have that level of threat, but give them a way out, right? Unless you just want to end a character or TPK the group. But have them see, oh, whoa, hold on. Can you maybe combine this with the invasion? Why did the Wizard's Tower just rumble?
Oh, it's probably Gasselstraz.
What the hell is that?
The red, the ancient dragon of fire.
Level 3 ranger kind of pokes his head out the tower window and, yeah, there's a red dragon on the roof. You cannot have business as usual. The wizard says,
you must evacuate.
And then he just teleports away. Dimension door somewhere you don't see. Or as I always say, he does something somewhere that you don't know somehow. Again, the next action from your PCs as sweat is forming on their brow needs to be, I think we should get the hell out of the tower. Hopefully the dragon's just after the wizard and he knows where he went. Maybe he's after something in the tower. Maybe he's just here and this is his new perch and he's about to lay waste, Daenerys style, Game of Thrones, to the whole damn city. Either way, we need to get the hell out. Not just the tower, we need to get out of the city. Because I know my DM, and in about 1 minute, maybe less, I'll roll the D4. You have that many rounds. We'll gloss over it. Your movement's 30. If you dash, you can move about 60. You have about 300 movement before I'm telling you to roll initiative. There it is. Create. I've actually cooled off a little bit in the time that I was doing this. Create moments in your game that get your PCs to sweat. That's all I have. See you guys soon.